artificial
Yeah,
intelligence.
I know.
We
I
talked
was going
about.
to get there.
Yes. So then, AI came into the scene and I started hearing very similar language to what I heard in 2015. If
Mhm.
only we could get this agent here, then, and this is what I've heard 10 years ago. And it really did not go as planned because we neglected the fundamental work behind this last mile thing that we're talking about. So I started forming, let's say, very strong opinions on data and AI and how to put all of this together, and that led to this book.
Well, yeah, I was definitely going to get there because one of the things that, and again, we work with a lot of people that are pioneers in artificial intelligence, and absolutely, I love what they're doing, and we've had some great conversations on the show about AI and the way to use it. And as a teacher myself, I see AI used well and misused, and in my coaching, I see AI used well and misused all the time. The thing though is that I don't believe personally that AI is capable of giving the kind of in-depth analysis that someone like you is able to do. And there's a kind of a disconnect right now where people think that it can instead of it telling you constantly what you want to hear. So, to someone that is listening to this and saying, okay, data analytics, statistics, all of those things. I'll use ChatGPT. What do you say to somebody that is a business leader that's saying that as to why the human element is still more important than that?
Hmm. Um,
I know it's a big question.
yes, I I mean I can immediately think of two facets of the answer. The first one, what I would say to a leader of a company who is thinking to deploy AI in their analytics function. One is that what I've realized is that data work is, it seems repeatable on the surface, but it's not because there are nuances that change. So you could think of automating data related work because you see the same patterns, but underneath those patterns, there's a lot of tacit understanding and tacit knowledge that is built into this data product because of the people who were working on it and they had this knowledge. So it is very hard to automate it in that sense. Yes, you can use AI to support a lot of the work. For example, in documentation, we know that we are bad at writing documentation, so we can use AI to write it, and then it's kind of a contained problem because it can work off of a specific code base, and if we do not give it a lot of room for creativity, it would generate documentation that is true to what the system is doing. So in that sense, there are very clever ways to use AI to speed up the data function, the data process. But I think that we neglect how nuanced the work is in order
Mhm.
for it to be fully automated. And then I already hinted to it, but AI has also the tendency to, not the tendency, it is its fundamental engine, which is probabilistic. So it gives you answers that are not deterministic. You ask
Right. Yeah. That
ChatGPT the
was
same
kind of what I was.
question.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you ask ChatGPT the same question twice, or any other tool the same question twice, and you are going to get different results.
Mm.
And in data analytics, for example, if you want to say how many books did we publish last year, you want the same answer because last year has passed and you have published a certain number of books, and that's it. So we are also in a realm where we want deterministic answers
Mm.
that reflect the reality of what the business has, how the business has performed. So this is also an area where I see a lot of initiatives that use AI, but then do a lot of work to tame the AI's capability to do probabilistic work. But that's
Mm.
what it is there for, at least the LLMs. So I think that some of implementations that I've seen is basically using AI as a rule engine, which is a huge waste of money and
Mhm.
time. So I would say look at the process at which you are using AI. If it is deterministic, it's probably not the right thing to do at the moment, at least. And then also remember that the work is very nuanced and requires a lot of tacit knowledge
Mhm.
that is never documented. So it will be hard to automate.
Right, and that's just it. I mean, we could probably spend another hour just having conversations about what AI does and why it's has issues. But yeah, I feel like the human element is so important, especially in analytics, because analytics isn't just the math. I mean, we have to kind of move beyond the idea that it's just okay. Here's some numbers, and these are the numbers. It's also about the analytics, analysis. As an English teacher, I always go look at the actual base of the word. So analysis is the thing that you do more than just the math. It's the thing that you take beyond that. Isn't that right?
Yes, you are right. So it is, my job is not to only provide numbers, but it's also the contextualization of the numbers that I'm providing. And it could be different within the same company and for a different team. It could be a different context, and I probably have to provide them a slightly different number, or maybe the same number, but it would not have the same priority or the meaning for the different teams. So it is also the work of contextualizing the numbers that we are presenting that is usually done by a person, a data person, and not an AI. You are right. We are also kind of responsible for understanding what the business wants,
Mhm.
because it is also a very common phenomenon that business people, or actually any customer, would say that they want everything, but obviously everything is not possible to deliver. So you have to dig deep into what is the problem they are trying to solve, or what is the question that they are trying to answer, and then provide them with data, with numbers that help them move in that direction. So I think that this is what we call requirement gathering. It's also a huge part of data work. And again, I would say that we still need people to understand other people because, as I said, there's a lot of tacit knowledge in organizations. And try writing a prompt and you will realize that in order to write a good self-sufficient prompt, instead of 2 lines, hey, give me this dashboard, you kind of need to write a 5-page document to really transfer all the unspoken and tacit rules and knowledge that is within your organization. So I think it's a similar thing for data products, for data work. Humans are still needed to understand other humans.